Alright, we're back and we're trying a new camera angle. So if this doesn't show up very well, I apologize, but we're going to send it anyway. Yesterday, when I was filming, I showed you a little bonus of breaking this one loose on the clutch side. And afterwards, I was able to break this one loose. Almost immediately after I had shut off the camera and stopped recording, it broke loose almost immediately. What we're going to do is we're going to split the cases on this, but first we got to flip the engine around. All right, hopefully this is showing up pretty good. I'm going to send it around over here because we got to do two things over here on this side. One, we've got to remove this. And look, it's some more of these things. I hate them. And, you know, I appreciate everybody's comments on wanting an overhead view. Look at how all that filth is still back there. We'll get it. So I'm going to hit these with some heat. Usually these aren't as bad, but I'm not going to underestimate it. Also, while I'm heating this up, we're also going to remove, whoa, hello. We're going to remove this snap ring from our shift shaft. And then that way we're going to remove the shift shaft. Did not mean to scorch my wire holder there, but it'll do. It'll be fine. Things are going to move pretty quickly, I think. Alright. Set that down. Got everything shut off. The other thing that we're going to use is we're going to use our Tusk case splitting tool. So we'll get to that. I've got a few components over here, but we're not trying to get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Let's do this part first. Make sure my impact driver is ready for some fun times. Making sure it's good and square. Yeah. Since that's not countersunk as bad into this piece here, I know I'm creating a little bit of a shadow for myself, but yeah, we may even zoom this in a little bit if it lets me. But I got that broken loose, so that's good. Yeah, broke loose pretty nicely. These are known for being stubborn. So everything from this process, I'm going to put in one baggie, including all of our bolts for the cases. Just set that there. So as soon as we get these cases split and the components out of them, we'll move on to the transmission, because I got to disassemble the transmission. And then I'll start with some of the components of the new transmission when we make the clearance on the cases and the shift forks, which we'll have to clearance. Some of that's going to be material falling down into the bearings. So we're going to leave the old bearings in there for that part of the process. Thread lock. And so we'll get everything clearanced. Then, these are often a little stubborn coming out of here too. Because I'm going to get this this little spacer that helps the counter shaft. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back to that. All right. You're getting ahead of yourself. But since some of those shavings from me clearancing the cases are going to go down into the cases, I need to make sure and not put that into the new bearings. We'll put it into the old bearings since we're removing them anyway. So I got my snap ring, which is filthy, and the washer for that. Let's see. We've got that sitting here. I'm going to go ahead and flip the engine around real quick, but we'll come back to this side real quick afterwards. So what I want to do is I want to remove the shift shaft. When I'm doing that, there's this little thing right here. So I'm going to put that with our shift shaft. Oh, that's right, we've got some more level tin bosses underneath there. So you get to be along for that ride. Okay. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put our piece down here in this. Baggie. Yeah, this thing is filthy. It's like it's been on there forever. One of my friends said that he put this on like 1.5 speed or even double speed. And it made it sound like normal. I'm not a fast talker. So some of you guys can do that and still get through this. Try not to click through it because there's some possibly useful information. All right, so I got that. And since we're going to be splitting the cases, go back over here. And in our same bag, I'm going to put all these screws. I'm going to go ahead and remove all the case screws that are on the stator side. Ooh, that one was angry. Yeah, they mad. Okay. Got that one. About this one. And a lot of people have been tempted before to, and I've even been guilty of this myself, going through and trying to make a cardboard template to get all these right where they belong. Certain length bolts are just going to go in certain places. And we know that all of these are going to be going either on this side or the next side. So it's not something that I'm overly worried about. And when we have the cases in half here, I'm going to clean the rest of this up. Okay, so did I miss any? Yep, I did. I missed this one right here. Okay. Anything else? We're not getting in a hurry. Making sure I got all of them out. Okay. Now, how could I ever let that slip my mind that there were some more level 10 bosses over here? The best time ever. Okay. You may not be able to see this. Yeah. This is our other washer. I misplaced it. It goes with our idler. So I'm going to put that in this other bag real quick. Bear with me, peoples. As usual, I'm having a certain level of anxiety about these screws, and I don't know if you can see them or not. Again, we had some requests for this other angle, but where I'm pointing, it's a part of the shifting mechanism, and it holds the shifting mechanism that's held in by these little, well, insert not so nice name here, screws. They, I've got to break those loose to be able to get the shifting mechanism out. In the meantime, what I'm doing is I'm removing this oil pump wheel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this snap ring back where it goes, because those are super easy to lose. And that's the last thing I want to do, is lose that. So it's in place, it's happy. So I'm going to put that down in our deal here. Oh boy. Not the best time ever. So it's the same sort of thing as these. They're countersunk into here, and I hate them. And they've got thread lock on them. So I'm just going to heat one at a time. Ugh. Wish me luck. And it hogged out. Freaking great. There's a reason why I replace these things. Oh, that one broke loose. See, that's what's something that's so stupid. One breaks loose super easy. The other one does crap like that. Oh, perseverance pays off. But yes, I'm going to be replacing these with the Allen head ones that I can get from True Value or Ace Hardware. Wow. That makes me happy. They're the bane of my existence. But yep, I'm going to get those. Out of the way. We will remove the rest of the case half bolts. There we are. Okay. Snap rings off the side, hammer off to the side. Yeah, I just almost stripped that thing out. So on this side, we've got these two bolts in the center by the main shaft. And we have our transmission oiler. Here is our spacer. It's going to go bye-bye, but I'm going to put it in the bag. So we're looking all around here. It's these two. 1, 2. And then I got to take this piece out. Note the O-rings. They seal in the oil galleries and make sure the tranny gets plenty of oil. I'm going to take this piece out. And we've got to be really careful with it. Putting these back together is kind of a pain. We'll get to that at some point as well. But there's these two little pals that have they stay in place by a spring in the body of it, which is, yeah, it sucks. All right. So we've got a screw here. Hope this is still showing up. Oh. There. Some corrosion. Okay. The only other thing that we need to break loose on this is going to be the shift drum retainer, which is in the center, and if I'm not mistaken, that's a 12 millimeter. And I did not stage that. So I'm going to stop the video now. All right, we're back. I found my 12 millimeter deep socket here. And this is going to be a little bit crude, but the way she goes, boys. Excuse me. So our centerpiece on for our shift drum comes out. And then our shift drum should come right out eventually. Oh no, I got ahead of myself a little bit again. Dang it, Dewey. I'm supposed to loosen this piece that's kind of a springing mechanism. It's a 10 mil. This has got a washer associated with it, and these are kind of a pain to get in and out of here, but we'll struggle through it. Get this component out, set that with this. And what I'm going to do is, just because it can be a pain and I don't want to lose that washer, I'm going to take this thing, this bolt, and I'm just going to run it in a little ways like so, and that'll be fine. The rest of this component, along with the top part of the selector of the shift drum, it's going to go into the bag. Now, the next part is we're going to have to release this, our main shaft, our main bearing nut. Hope that's showing up for you. It might be a little bit excluded, but we're doing what we can. Just so you can see what I'm doing, we're going to go ahead and tilt it kind of back here. I'll use my mallet as it's kind of a, well, I might use it as a kickstand here. We'll see. That's just not going to work. Sorry, folks. It is what it is. But I'm removing I'm going to remove the counterbalancer. Oh. This is a point where it's helpful to have your magnet with you. Got it over here somewhere. There it goes. Yeah, I'll get it. Oh, for crying out loud. Our Woodruff key. It's not a Woodruff key, it's just a standard key. That's the wrong type of screwdriver. Where's my whack-a-mole screwdriver? There it is. My key just fell in between the engine components there. There we go. So I've got my key. All these components come together and they set a certain way. They only go on there one way, and they're going in the bag. There's a little dowel pin that sits on the counterbalancer shaft that we got to remove to be able to split the cases. And it acts like a key for it as well. And I've got to get some needle nose real quick. I'm just going to leave it rolling. Just going to leave it rolling, folks. Filming all of this is kind of an undertaking. There it is. See this little dowel pin? And it goes in right here on the counter, or the balancer shaft. And that's just going to go in the bag. So, double checking my work, making sure I have all my case half bolts removed, and I do on this side. I'll set my components over here. I'm going to go back and double check on the other side. Bing, bing, boom. Making sure there's not one there. Going through. All right. How about we split these cases? I like splitting it from the clutch side. So, because, that's not very nice. To be fair, what just happened was I just had my extension on this and it just fell off behind the bench. So remind me to get that off of there. That's a 10 millimeter, so it doesn't surprise me that that would be the one that would come off of there. What I'm going to do here is I'm setting the case splitting tool. I'm going to move it around a little bit. There we go. On the crankshaft, and I'm positioning these arms corresponding with the clutch side case half screws, holes. And this is just how I'm doing it. I know this video is getting kind of long, but screw it, none of you guys watch this stuff anyway. But this video is for a good cause. Because remember, this is going to my pal Link's garage. And he's going to have all the sauce. Oh shoot. We're going to have to go over here with it. That's not ideal. Well, will it go here? No, it won't. Will this thing come out? I can't get that out. How did I do this before? I bet I did it. How the heck did I do this? We'll do it like this. We'll try to spread the load out a little bit more. It's not best. And some of you guys might have used a tool like this or not. Quite honestly, I probably could get these cases to split without the tool, but using the tool is the right way, so we'll do that. I'm focusing on getting this centered up. And all I'm going to do here is, oh shoot, I'm going to get my 1/2 inch drive. So I've already got it split over here on this side, and sometimes putting a little bit of encouragement on the shafts and on the side of the cases. Yeah, we're started the process. I'm gonna give it a little love. Yeah, it's loosening up really well. I'm not trying to warp the cases. Oh yeah. I'm just double and even triple checking to make sure I didn't miss any screws. Got this filth off of here. While I'm over here, yeah, it's already separating some over here. We got a dowel pin on the cases over here. When I'm working with the cases on here, I'm being careful not to come into contact with any of these hard metal components on the bench. There we go. We got some good separation. Yeah. Oh yeah. And so this got loose real fast. I'm going to go ahead and use it just a little bit more to press off the crankshaft. And I'm going to back it back off because I let it get crooked. That dowel pin is super stubborn. It has to do with this. Yeah, and I'm just being transparent here. Okay. It's our counter shaft. It's being a pain in the rump. We're just practically almost there. I'm going to go ahead and remove this splitter from here. Just to kind of get me squared back up, I'm going to push off the main shaft here to get things squared back up. And I'll be the first to say, it's a little bit of pressure for me to do this stuff on video and doing it live, but you know, I'm not a real mechanic, so sometimes stuff happens, and this identifies as stuff. I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to reach it over here. Excuse me. So it's trying to cool off, and my deal here is I usually don't do this stuff in the garage. I usually do it on the bench in front of my TV so I can just hang out and watch TV. And so just a very much more chill type environment than filming. So, you know, we're doing this to be a part of the experiment, the experience. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Things just got a little cattywampus. So I got the dowel pins off, just the transmission is a little bit hacked off at me now. And it all comes back to this counter shaft here. So I'm going to give it just a little bit more encouragement and see if we can get it off of there. Yeah. So we're off the dowel pins. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things. I'm just going to show it to you with what I'm dealing with. When you've done it so many times and not had any issues, and then you go and record things and then you start having issues, well, you got to show the good with the bad, you know. There we go. And just like that, we got the case halves apart. And real quick, we're going to do an inspection. The main bearing's feeling pretty good. This, of course, we beat on it a little bit. This main transmission bearing's a little chunky. Our shifter bearing's a little bit all right. Real quick, something that I'm doing here. Our washer was setting against this bearing, so I'm going to put it right here. Our counter shaft bearing's a little chunky. This half here, this area on this side is going to be the side that I'm going to have to clearance the cases on to make room for the 5th gear. And let's see, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be on a part of this, but we'll get there. So we got the cases split. I'm feeling pretty confident about that. Got our dowel pins. I'm going to end up putting both of them on this side. Let's see here. There's one thing that I did neglect to remove, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Is with my pliers, my special needle nose pliers, there's a dowel pin on the crankshaft, and we will need that for our stroker crank. I'm going to put that in there. The other thing that I'm going to do is I might actually even remove these dowel pins if they come out easily. I'm just going to leave them. So we've got this component, this part of the components apart, and I'm going to call it good for right now. And then we'll get back with you on the next video.